their local recording if you're not already.
I didn't want to miss anything from
recording.
So I will tell you, this is a game show I've run twice, but the most recent time was 5 months ago. I did listen to both of the recordings of that this morning, including the last one that ends with "I'll be back in 2 weeks."
Oh,
Nailed it.
Never make promises. This is
see you next time. Is my new ending for everything, and even
then
that
we
is
schedule after it's live.
Tony, don't forget that you promised on Twitter that you were going to post the live YouTube link on.
I know. I've already got it.
I'm tooting right now.
That's information I didn't need.
All right, that has been posted from the game show account. I can put a link to that somewhere if anyone doesn't have easy access to the game.
Turns out you can get it from Zoom. Yeah, so that's exciting.
Are you putting this on Mastodon?
Secret agent.
I'm trying.
I just put it on Mastodon.
Okay, well, since I follow you both,
now I added a poll and I don't know how to make it go away.
Robbie, it's not a nerd anonymous meeting because there's nothing wrong that we are addicted to at all. So
everything's
also
great.
We're not anonymous.
Yeah, our names are right there on the screen.
That's gonna be an issue.
Yeah.
Also we could be anonymous.
Yeah, everyone wear a festive mask next time, and don't say your names.
I'm going to wear one of those Venetian masks, like an eye wide shut.
Yes.
I feel like I would probably still recognize you, but your purple hair and rest of your face and your voice
and your
personality.
If I learned anything from the Star Wars prequels, this is perfectly anonymous enough.
Yeah. Who invited this stranger to play this podcast?
Where did Jack go? I thought he was going to be here.
Please let me introduce my co-host, Darth Maul.
Oh God, this guy again. Oh, we're not buying anything.
Tupperware deals are very reasonable.
Don't think Tupperware is traditionally sold at parties, Dan, not door to door, but nice try. All right.
What is this if not a party, Tony?
Okay. Do anyone have any questions before we start?
Oh yeah, how's this game work?
Episode? Well,
okay, good. Just
nothing but questions, really.
Will be re-explained on the episode, but it would be. I have some links I will paste into the Zoom
played
chat
this game. It was
if you want to get
more than remembering your own answers. Oh my God.
That's Tony, you won the game last year, last time. Which
Tony,
was
do you want our annoying
year.
questions as part of the podcast or before the podcast?
50-50.
Like quality live stream content.
Pick some.
I want, if it's banter, if it's critique, if it's technical nuts and bolts, let's do that now. If it's personal attacks on me, save that for the recording.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you suck, but I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, keep hold that energy inside you. Let it fester.
I like that you linked to this Zoom. That made me go like, wait, am I in the wrong Zoom?
Yes.
See,
sorry, Gene.
Gene's got it figured out. It's like, are you here?
All right, everybody over to the other Zoom.
The most important link in those 3 links, one of those links you've already done. That's how ahead of the game you all are. The second link is the Google form link, which is important that you have that up. You're going to use that over and over again. If for whatever reason, I'm not judging you, Glenn, you can't remember 5 things that you just wrote in a form, you may wish to copy and paste them or take a screenshot. But once you put something in the form, you will then later be asked to read the things from the form. And I can read them for you because I'll be looking at the responses, but it's slightly less ridiculous if you know what you put into your.
Is there a way to get Google Forms to show you what you submitted? No,
I think I can have it set up to email you for each of them, but I don't know if you want that. But yes, and you will use the same form over and over again for the
in the Notes app. Put it in there.
Yes, yeah, you can always type it outside of the thing.
Basic premise of it, which I'll explain again once the episode actually starts, is you will be given a category of something, and your goal is to pick the things that you think other people will pick for that.
Unlike
category.
that stupid game that Lex Friedman plays and runs. It's the opposite of that.
Kathy is really feeling those 3 mimosas.
Listen, I just started my 3rd one. We're fine.
Okay, got it. You're a mean mimosa.
I love that.
Yes.
So if the first category was toys, and you named a bunch of obscure tech companies that no one else names, that's not going to help you. Obscurity is not useful. You got to think about what other people are going to say, but also they're thinking about what you're going to say. It's a game, people. The scoring system has been slightly revised from last time. Basically, there's more and more things that get points now. What could go wrong?
All my cheating was based on the existing rules. It's fine. It's fine.
That's fine. But you will get, if all 5 of your answers are things other people said, you'll get bonus points.
Yeah.
If you get exactly the same list as somebody else, not worrying about order, you'll get some bonus points. And then each of you will have a chance to choose the category from a set of 2 options. And then the final round of the game is a little bit different. The final round of the game, validity matters. You'll be presented a category, and everyone will have to name something from the category until you can't think of anything. And whoever's last standing will walk away with the most points from those rounds. So
I'm ready.
A fabulous prize.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy, you've got the score sheet, the responses, and the script open. We've got 11 people watching on the YouTubes. That's not bad, right?
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
That means there's more than just us.
That's more than just us. Yeah.
Which is,
I'm not even watching it.
Well, I'm posting it on micro.blog now, so
it looks like this, 12. But slightly 2 seconds behind.
Right. And a little behind.
Wait, is there a way I can use that tape delay to cheat?
No. Time goes in the other direction.
For you, maybe.
Deep fake. Kathy saying 10 points, Dan.
Yeah.
You know somebody who's got a voice model.
Don't talk to James.
Yeah. I mean, really, you need access to Kathy's spreadsheet, which, I shouldn't incentivize you to compromise Kathy's information security, but here we are.
I've just sent several phishing emails.
Let me click through. I'm sure it's fine. It's my friend Dan.
Welcome back to Mind Meld. It's me, Tony Sindelar, and I will be your game master for Mind Meld, the game where uniqueness counts against you. Allow me to introduce our scorekeeper, Kathy Campbell. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Tony. Thanks
Happy
for
birthday.
letting me come back. Thank you. Happy birthday to me.
This was recorded on Kathy's birthday. It will not be released on Kathy's birthday because our turnaround time is not that fast. Kathy, I hear that you have recruited a group of 5 players. Would you introduce them to me and to our audience at home?
I would love to introduce them in the order that they will be playing, I'm guessing, thanks to random.org. The first person whose first and last name mind melded their last letter together, Monty Ashley. Hello.
Hello. So we're not supposed to be picking the most obscure thing that nobody else would ever even consider. Oh, no.
Nope. All right. Next up, returning player, and the player with the most melding letters in her name is Annette Wierstra.
Now I'm thinking about all my. Yeah, I have lots of melding letters. That's fun. Yeah. Do I win?
You win the announcement by going second. Yay. I don't know. All right. The player with the most letters in his name that don't meld with anyone else, Lex Friedman.
I'm objecting to the fact that uniqueness counts against me, but I'm happy to be here nonetheless. I'm not going to listen until my birthday, though, just to be clear.
Okay. Who knows? It might not be out by then. I don't know when your birthday is, so we'll guess.
We've got time.
Kathy, it's every year.
Yeah, that's true.
I know Lex's birthday and social security number.
The only returning player who is also back to attempt to meld one title into 2, Dan Morin.
Oh, it's me. Hi. It's good to be back on this show that I totally remember.
Yep. We all do. And last but certainly not least, the player who melds most in my heart because I can't think of anything else creative with her name that involves melding, Jean McDonald.
I'm so excited for this game. As a lifelong conformist, I hope to excel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. In case it's been a while since you played Mind Meld, because it's been a long time since I ran a game of Mind Meld, how does this game work? You will be presented with a series of categories. For each category, it doesn't really matter whether you know what the right answers for the things in the categories are. It matters is what you say something that somebody else is going to say? That's how we define rightness. So, for example, if the category was founding fathers and you put Abraham Lincoln, it doesn't matter that that's wrong as long as other people do it too. So I will select the topic for round 1. Players will select the future topics. But we are going to start off with I need a timer that I totally forgot to have near me.
Oh, the flow was so good.
I know. Now it has to be edited. All right, I got a timer. So we're going to start off round 1 with the topic of constellations. I have put 50 seconds on the clock. You have the web form. You have 50 seconds to name 5 constellations that you think other people are also going to name. This is where Kathy and I would have lots of fun banter about constellations, except that would give away some of the names of constellations, and we don't want to do that.
Banter.
Kathy, what's the opposite of a constellation? Well, actually, we might be asking for trouble there too.
Yeah.
So
no. It'll be interesting to see if any of the constellations listed are from the southern hemisphere.
Now you've said that. Now you see what you just did, Kathy.
I know.
Just as I submitted.
I know. I saw it come up and I was like, sweet, I'm going to finish saying this.
All I wanted to do was screenshot my answers, and then I did not screenshot my answers. Recreating my list in my mind.
Oh gosh, I have so many questions. I don't know how to interesting.
So are you gonna have to make some judgments, Kathy?
Yes, I am. Some very big judgments on people's
all right
choices.
Are those point judgments or just like moral judgments?
Both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
All right, answers are in. One person didn't put their name. We will figure out who that is based on process of elimination. And my guess that it was probably Dan.
Yeah,
Dan.
Right. It's got my email address attached to it. I figured it would know.
Was it Dan? It was totally Dan.
Yeah, it was me. Sorry, I was so concentrated on trying to get them written in 2 places and copy and paste them back.
Yep. All right.
Brutal.
So we are going to start with Monty. Monty, you're going to read us your 5 constellations. Kathy is doing some tabulation behind the scenes, and yeah, we'll get it all figured out in a second. Monty, tell me about your 5 constellations.
My first constellation I listed as Big Dipper parentheses Ursa Major.
Nerd.
And my second one I said Little Dipper parentheses Ursa Minor. So I'm hoping I collect everybody who said either one.
So funny that you say that.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh no, I'm not going to say anything else yet because I'm still trying to just determine. But
you're just letting me know I said something funny. Thanks.
Yes, you did. You're welcome.
So, all right, we're 2/5 of the way through Monty's list. This is great. Right.
Then I said Taurus, Orion, and Capricorn.
Okay. Would you like to offer any commentary about why you came up with these, other than that I told you to list 5 constellations?
Well, I am a Taurus.
Nice.
Orion is a constellation that I can recognize in the sky pretty consistently because of the belt, those 3 stars. And then I had nothing, so I just went with another astrological sign.
Okay. Let's see. Next after Monty is Annette. Annette, tell us about your 5 constellations.
I also picked the Big and Little Dipper, not trying to do Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. I did think about it. I picked Orion's belt because that's the only thing I recognize, which is probably giving Kathy grief.
Oh no, that's not the problem. You're fine.
Okay.
Monty's the problem. We've established.
No, it's really no. No.
I think Cassiopeia is a constellation, but I'm not 100% sure.
Doesn't matter whether it is. All that matters is, did anyone else?
I wrote it down.
Yep.
And then I put the Southern Cross because Kathy said something about the other hemisphere.
Our system.
Yeah, there's a Southern Cross.
Yeah, our system works.
Yeah.
All right. The next up, we need to hear from Lex. Kathy, is this where you have questions?
I believe that I'm the source of all the problems that Kathy's having.
But see, you're not unique in this.
That's what I was going for, Kathy. That's exactly what I was going for.
Nailed
not
it.
being unique.
Nailed it.
I'll even freely admit, as I share my answers, I didn't know they were all the same thing, but I have the following 5/3 constellations.
Oh no!
Orion, Little Dipper, Big Dipper, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. So chew on that, science.
I had all 5 of those on my list.
I know. That's
I think I shot the moon, as far as I can tell.
Well,
The moon is
I
not a
will point
constellation,
out,
Lex.
Moon, not a constellation. We're gonna have to deal with that in a bit.
You're welcome.
But before we get to that, it's a real fractional point situation here. Dan, tell us about your 5 constellations.
So funny that you ask.
This is the
Because
last time we're
I
ever
was
playing this
attempting to
game.
cover the spread as well. I wrote the Big Dipper, Ursa Major, Cassiopeia, Orion, and the Little Dipper. I considered putting Ursa Minor, but decided I don't know if enough people will put that. It didn't say they had to be separate. Like you just have to write what someone else wrote, right?
I know.
Didn't say
No,
they had
I
It's
to
know.
cool
be
that this is
different
also the
things.
last episode of Mind Meld. I'm excited.
Right? Three.
The last
three is
episode of
not
Mind
enough.
Meld only
round.
gets through one round. Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday,
I-
Kathy. We got you a headache.
Gene, you know what I like about you? A lot of things, but I particularly like right now your list of 5 constellations. Can you tell us
Yes.
about your 5 constellations?
Well, yeah, I had a panic moment because I started to put Milky Way, and I'm like, no, not galaxy, constellation. You know, like I think of classes of ships and Star Trek, and then I'm totally lost. I do know what a constellation is. And Orion, I think, I'm surprised it wasn't number 1 on everybody's list. That was the first one I could think of. Then Big Dipper, Little Dipper. I did have in my mind the bear somewhere, and I'm like, you don't really know what that is. So don't do that. Before Kathy even said Southern anything, Southern Cross is just one of those ones I know because it's famous, and I have seen it once. And then I put the Pleiades, not entirely sure it's a constellation, kind of like Cassiopeia, which was also on my, I'm not sure, is that a constellation? So anyway, nobody picked it, so it doesn't matter.
The Pleiades is an asterism?
Meteor shower.
There's let's see. It's this is me reading stuff on the internet right now. Everyone loves that. As far as I can tell, the Pleiades are known for being. It's also the name of asteroid shower because that I think comes through that constellation. But I think as part of I'm reading this is
Tony, it's unfortunate there's nobody in your household who can
I'm
clarify.
texting someone right now, Dan. It seems like the Pleiades is part of Taurus.
Oh,
So
really?
Okay.
So then I matched with the Monty because
and all right,
I didn't want to pick I didn't want to go the route of astrological signs because then I would have to decide between 12. So
Yeah.
Further real-time follow-up from the highly paid astronomer that we have on staff here at Mind Meld. The Big Dipper is the asterism for an Ursa Major. You know that you've consulted a scientist when your answer includes a word that you then have to ask them what it means.
Yeah, what did you call me?
You know what you did. So I think the question at this point is ultimately down to the discretion of our scorekeeper.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
Kathy,
Yes.
how do we deal with people like Lex? Also, people
The
like
question
Monty.
many people are asking.
I know.
People like Monty who try to put a second answer in parentheses
Yeah.
after the first answer.
Okay.
was
So
just
I
being
But obviously, one of these people is fine, and one of these people is a monster.
I'm not going to answer which one is a monster because I do want everyone to still continue to be my friend.
Mhm.
However, I believe that the way that this game is played
Mhm.
is not necessarily the correct answer, but what
No.
is listed.
Yeah.
So Monty will get 2 sets of points, both for the Big Dipper, which is Ursa Major. So he will match up with Big Dipper and Ursa Majors and Little Dipper and Ursa Minors. However, I don't remember how the scoring counting works.
Wait,
So
are you saying
I've
that
colored-
Monty can get more points than possible now? Is everyone going to
Put
start
in.
packing paragraphs in?
No,
in
because
parentheses?
Gonna
because
break
it
your
has
game,
to
Tony.
be-
Gonna break your game.
no fractional points, but it
Mhm.
has to be like included in the same thing. So because
Okay.
the Little Dipper could also be called Ursa Minor, not talking to the other person in your household that would
Mhm.
say that it's incorrect, but because it's both the same thing with the same words.
Oh,
different.
I don't know if I followed that, and now we
I
have
don't
to
know
put
either,
numbers
but-
to this. So this is going to be real fun. Let me start
Yes.
with so first off, several people managed to name things that were all things that other people named, which is great. That shows that you are thinking like your colleagues, like your friends. We like that. You get that. We call that a meld here at Mind Meld. So several people are going to get bonus points right away for that. And I believe that includes Lex, Dan, and Annette, all of whom named things that were other people's stuff.
Okay. So to start with so for example, for Orion, and this is the boring point counting part because I don't remember how it goes because I think I've done it wrong. Doesn't matter. So for Orion, where everyone got Orion, which means it's a mind meld.
Yep.
Which means they get 2 extra points, right?
No, 3? You don't get anything for that. It just
gets the full 5.
No. Yeah, because Orion was mentioned 5 times. Everyone who mentioned Orion gets 5 points. We'll do it. I think we'll do it player by player rather than word by word.
Yeah, that works.
That makes. So let me see. Let me start with people who are not Monty and Lex.
Good idea. Who are the first 2 that entered?
All right. So Monty and Lex, troublemakers. So I look at Dan. Dan picked the Big Dipper. 4 other people picked the Big Dipper.
5 because
5 other people
Monty.
picked because of Monty.
Yeah.
So Dan gets 5 points for the Big Dipper. What the heck do I do with Dan saying Ursa Major? Does he get 3 points for that?
So there were 3 people that said Ursa Major, so he gets 3 points. Yes.
All right.
8.
Dan's at 8. 2 people said Cassiopeia, so he's at 10. 5 people said Orion, brings him to 15, and 5 people said Little Dipper, right? So that brings him 20 points to Dan. Plus, I put in his 3 bingo points already.
Yes.
All right. You all have made this part more complicated. Annette. Let's see here.
The game.
5 for Big Dipper.
Yep.
5 for Little Dipper. 5 for Orion. 2 for Cassiopeia, and 2 for Southern Cross.
I think I got 19 points.
Yes.
Plus 3 points for Meld.
So that's 20. Wait.
Just
22.
put it in the 19. I put in the bingo.
Oh, you put it in the okay, cool. Okay. Excellent. So 5.
Have you put them in anywhere? Because I don't see them.
Sorry, I'm just putting it in the form responses, so I'm not switching back and forth between. But I could hold on.
I need you to put them on the score sheet so that it tabulates.
I know. Hold on. Let me use my 27-inch monitor and have 2 windows open at the same time, like a grown up.
Okay.
Fine.
This got strange.
Yep.
Happy birthday,
size
Dan.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Kathy, I like your backdrop.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. And, when this is actually released, maybe this will be edited out or something.
This is what people listen for.
No, small math. That's what people listen to hours of us doing minor arithmetic for Dungeons and Dragons.
It's true.
All right. Orion, for Gene, you get your 5 points for Orion. You get your 5 points for Big Dipper. You get your 5 points for Little Dipper. That's at 15. And you get 2 for Southern Cross. So I count 17 points for Gene. No points for Pleiades. Sorry. All right. This brings us around to the troubling people. I think there may be some color coding that we need to flip around here. So let me start with Lex. Lex gets 5 points for Orion. He gets 5 points for Little Dipper. That brings him to 10. He gets, I think, 5 points for Big Dipper.
Yep.
Does he get 3 points for Ursa Major?
Yes.
18. And then 2 points for Ursa Minor?
Nope. 5. Yes, 2. Yep.
2.
Yep, you're right.
So I said numbers without adding them.
17 plus 17, right?
I thought 19, but I don't know.
I think 19.
19 would be correct.
19 points for Lex.
Who's counting?
Monty is the tricky one here. So he said Big Dipper, which everyone said. He said Big Dipper parentheses Ursa Major. I guess we will give him the better of those, right? And we'll give him
8 points, please.
No, we're giving you 5 points for
8
Big
points,
Dipper.
please.
5 points. You can't get more than 5 points for one word.
That's a dumb rule.
It's a new rule that has been instituted because of you. The
Monty rule.
Yeah.
The Monty rule. Yeah.
You will get
there's
5
so many
points.
Monty rules and so many games.
I know.
Oh, why do you make it so difficult to be your friend?
The Monty Ashley problem. Everyone knows that one. It's with the doors and the.
You're going to get 5 points for Big Dipper. You're going to get 5 points for Little Dipper. You're going to get 5 points for Orion. You unfortunately don't get any points for Taurus or Capricorn. You will walk away with 15 points.
Yes.
And you will thank them.
All right.
I find your offer acceptable.
All right. Yes.
All right. Half an hour in, we've gotten through a
Did I
round.
win?
Let's keep
Oh
going.
my God. This is going to take forever.
No, we've
here's-
got it figured out now.
Yeah, we got to figure it out now. We
Yeah,
got a
sure.
system.
Let's go to another
Yeah,
round. See what
Put
happens.
3 answers in
Hold on.
one answer, and you will win.
In response to listener feedback, every round includes chaos points, or as we know them, chaos/chaos points, where Tony and Kathy have the prerogative to give a bonus point or subtract a point from every player. I'm taking 1 point away from. Can I take half a point away from Monty and Lex?
No, we are not doing fractions of a point. That
Fair
is
enough.
a hard no.
Kathy,
Just
do you-
irrational numbers, please.
yeah, Kathy, would you like to add or subtract a point from any of these players?
I have to give a point to Monty just because the chaos is
Because he broke
strong.
everything. All
Because he
right.
broke everything.
Did you
1
subtract and add a point to Monty? Is that what just happened?
No, I have not ruled where my point is going yet.
Okay.
Let me review these really quickly and think about what is the best here.
Happy birthday, Tony.
You know what? He gets 2 points in the hopes that he will not hurt us again.
Ooh,
So,
yes, good call.
Nice,
Good call.
nice game show. It would be a shame if anything happened to it. Those 2 points. Those are a payoff. If we see parentheses again, we will deduct points.
Yes, maybe.
All right, Monty. It is your turn next. This is not a bid to further try and get you to leave us alone. You have the honor of selecting the topic for round 2 of Mind Meld. God, why did I do this to myself?
This was
One of-
you
one of-
know
this
what
was an
he's
error.
going to choose.
One of the choices has a slash
Wait,
in it.
Wait.
Appropriate.
Is it the? I thought that was the winner of the round.
Nope, we changed that. That was game 1. Game 2, we switched
right
to a prescribed. Otherwise,
Yep.
everyone
Yep,
gets a
we're good.
chance to pick.
Never mind.
Yep. Nope, we're good.
good.
We do this all the time. It definitely hasn't been 5 months since we
Nope.
did this.
Nope. Definitely not.
Monty, you have the honor of choosing the topic for round 2. Your choices are.
Can I cut you off, Tony? Could we just get a quick, clean read of the scores? 'Cause I
Oh.
don't think we got that.
No,
Kathy
you did
Campbell,
not.
can we get a quick, clean read of the scores? Kathy, can we get a quick round update now that we've calculated in bonus points, chaos points, and points that they get for playing the
All
game?
the pointy points. Absolutely. So in first place is Dan with 23 points. Lex and Annette have melded together in a triple meld because they're in second place and they both have 22 points. So the twos are together. I don't know. It's complicated. And then Jean and Monty are also melding with 17 points each.
Yeah, close game. Anything could happen. We're gonna have to do a lot
Literally
more math.
anything.
Anything could happen.
Literally
And
anything.
will.
Yep. It
Monty,
will.
your choices for round 2 are either category 1, Greek/Roman gods, or category 2, D&D character classes. Some of the category choices for the players are 8.
Yes.
Let's go with D&D character classes, Tony.
Well,
works
I'm
like
gonna
a
get
charm.
0 points.
Shocking.
Again,
Shocking.
all you have to do is get things that other people get. It does not matter if you're right. In fact, being highly knowledgeable about this topic may be a disadvantage.
Could be. Yes.
All right, please open up your web form. I have started my timer. 56 seconds and counting. 5 top character classes, top as defined by things that you think other people will do because they think that you will do them because they think that you're thinking about what you're thinking about. Do you think people listen to me while they're coming up with their 5 things? That seems really hard.
You know what? Having played a lot of this type of game where you have to think a lot and then other people are talking on top of it, I know it's really difficult. However, most of the players on this podcast right now are seasoned game show players. So they tend to be pretty good at typing around other people talking.
Wish you hadn't been talking during this.
I wish I had played Dungeons and Dragons more recently than 1994.
Again, I don't think it's
That's
a problem.
available to you, Lex.
Yeah,
anytime you want.
Anytime you want. I know a guy. I think we're waiting on Gene.
Gene.
We got
Yep,
hot and
sorry,
cold running
sorry.
D&D on this network.
And please make sure you know the things you put in.
I'm really just here to find Lex's answers. I don't even care if I get
You know what? Lexes are not bad. I mean, I think quantitatively not that different from the rest of you. You're all more alike than you are different, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Um,
Just like
I'm just
the
doing my
world.
screenshot
Mhm.
and then I'll be done. Wait, screenshot not working. Okay. I could never remember this list. Okay, sorry.
All right. Let us start with Annette. Annette, can you read us your list of D&D character classes?
I can indeed. Rogue, Bard, Paladin, Wizard, and Cleric.
Very nice.
I'm like, I
Lex.
hope those were classes. I had a moment of panic where I'm like, what is a
Oh,
class?
you had a moment of panic.
I will say, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. There was a recent game show episode where Erica ran D&D Trivial Pursuit for us, and despite there being hundreds of hours of recorded performance of me playing D&D, I did real bad at it. But to my knowledge, all of those are character classes. Next up, the one that everybody is waiting for, Lex. 5 D&D character classes.
Please hold your applause and laughter till the end.
Mhm.
I have.
It starts strong. It starts strong, people.
It starts so strong.
I have
So good.
orc, wizard, warlock, barbarian, fighter, and I feel like at least 3 of those are actually D&D.
You-
classes.
More of them
You know-
are.
Again, it does not count, but 4 out of 5 of those are
Pretty
character
good.
classes, and one of them is a character race, which is a closely
it is
related
something-
concept.
It is something from D&D. So
Yeah, they are all things from
Yeah.
D&D.
Yes.
You didn't put in
That's what I was going
Vulcan
for.
or something.
Or stapler or
Yeah, Lex, I'm just saying, if you
Monty, I
were
played a
worried
level 3 stapler. It was great.
that people are gonna like, oh, Lex is coming through and he's the cool guy and he's gonna trounce it. No, that didn't happen. All right, let us continue. Dan, 5 D&D character classes.
Fighter, wizard, cleric, bard, and then I blanked on rogue
Orc,
and wrote
orc,
ranger. And I know I was thinking about orc. That was good. I actually almost put like dwarf, thinking somebody
Again,
would
it's
put
what
that,
other people
but,
put
like,
is what is
I
important.
decided with this group it was unlikely.
All right. Gene, I think we are around to you. 5
Okay.
D&D characters classes.
Classes, I am relatively new to D&D and I did have the what is actually a class moment.
Yep.
So I went with a thing that I was sure was what would win people over. Other people would say wizard, then a paladin, which is my new character that I'm playing with my 9-year-old nephew, and bard, which was my character in Total Party Kill. Then I lost it and I said elf, which I know is not now a class, and dragon, not a class.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They can be. All right, and then Monty, one of our most knowledgeable D&D people of all time. You chose this category. What do you got for us?
well, I started off with fighter and wizard,
Mm-hmm.
and then I know we're supposed to pick what
Yep.
other people are going to pick,
Yep.
but I decided to take an angle. I said thief instead of rogue.
Mm,
My
Old school.
Right, because it was a class at one time, and I figured maybe Lex remembers thief being a class, but he doesn't know it's now
Yeah.
called rogue.
Smart bet.
Yeah.
It's
Smart.
like how Gene Elf was a class in
Mhm.
original first
That's
edition
true.
D&D. So you're right.
Yeah.
And then I got back on track and said bard and cleric. I
All
said
right.
bard because Chris Pine is a bard in the D&D movie, and I figured that might bubble it up to people.
I was Monty. I was really not gonna lie. I was really hoping you were gonna write fighting man.
All right. Well, no one got a meld or a full meld. That being no one got a complete set of things that other people put. Everybody had at least 1 or 2 things that nobody else put, and nobody duplicated anybody else's list. So let us run down the scores real quick. Annette, I'll start with you. You're gonna get 4 points for Bard. 2 points for Paladin brings you to 6. Wizard was the one everybody put, so you get 5 points for that, gets you to 11, and you'll get 2 points for Cleric, gets you to 13 points.
Three
got-
three points for cleric.
3 points for Cleric, so 14 points.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. That's why we have a team, because I
Yes.
am not great at math. Following Annette, Lex, 5 points for Wizard. I want to say in defense of Lex, Warlock and Barbarian, totally D&D classes. lovely classes, good people, and it's just unfortunate no one else picked them. So you get your 5 points for Wizard, you get your 3 points for Fighter, 8 points to Lex. I appreciate that this round does not have any complicated discussions of asterisms in it already. Dan, 3 points for Wizard, Dan, 3 points for Fighter, 5 points for Wizard gets you to 8. 3 points for Cleric gets you to 11, and 4 points for Bard gets you to 15. Who's after Dan in the turn order? Gene, 5 points for Wizard, 2 points for Paladin, gets you to 7. 4 points for Bard gets you to 11. And last, Monty, 3 points for Fighter, 5 points for Wizard, 8. 4 points for Bard gets you to 12, and 3 points for Cleric gets you to 15. All right. So no bingo points this time around. Kathy, how do we feel about chaos points, either negatives or positives? I would like to point out they didn't make our lives as difficult this round.
I know, and that's a real benefit. And I kind of am tempted to give pity points to Lex because he did do the correct, like he listed all classes, kind of.
Well, 80%.
80%. This is so hard. You know what? Do we like give Monty a point for not making her life difficult?
Whoa. That's extortion.
Dangerous. It doesn't count as a precedent because that's what we did last round.
You give me a point for causing chaos, then you give me a point for not causing chaos.
Wait a second.
We're just going to call these Monty points and move on.
Less of a chaos point than a waffle point at this point.
All right. I think we agree that we give 1 point to Lex because he tried.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to give Annette a point for saying rogue because one of my highest level characters was a rogue, and I'm surprised that no one else put it. So far, we have done only addition with our chaos points. I will tell you that is unusual compared to the previous game.
Yes.
Kathy, could we get a quick score update here at the end of round 2?
Absolutely. Holding in first place, Dan has 38 points, but a switch up. Nope, just kidding. I know how to read numbers. Close behind is Annette with 37. Monty comes next with 32. Then Lex has 31 and Jean has 28. Still a close game. Anyone could win. Anything could happen. Something. Woo!
More D&D rounds.
All right. The Annette, you are going to choose our next round. Your choices are either robots or breakfast foods. Please choose.
I'm going with breakfast foods.
Thank you.
All right. You have 1 minute. I want the 5 most popular that other people are going to identify breakfast foods in that web form.
I know way more about this than the other thing.
That may not help you.
Orcs.
I'm a level 7 at breakfast.
You're much better than that.
Already entered. Already listed. Let's see how long it takes everyone else to enter their things. I mean, we didn't even have time to banter before Lex entered his answers.
If it's any help, I forgot to screenshot again, but
I forgot. It's like, how did you type so fast?
Dang it.
You're on a Mac, Apple Shift 4, I believe, just does makes it easy.
I got him.
All right. I think we got everybody in here with seconds to spare. So let us move along. Lex picked the round, so we will start with
That's
Dan.
not true. That's a false.
I picked the round.
Annette picked the round, so we'll start with Lex, who was the most excited about breakfast. Lex, tell us about breakfast.
Well, part of this complete nutritious breakfast, Tony, would be eggs, waffles, pancakes, bacon, don't tell my parents, and cereal.
I was going to ask you about that. All right. Lex, I'm also excited to tell you, we'll give you your actual score later. You have got to meld. Everything that you named there was something else that somebody else named. Dan, tell us about breakfast.
You know what? I love that Lex and I are on pretty much the exact same page. I had cereal, pancakes, waffles, eggs, and bagels.
Oh, so close.
90% of the way there.
80.
Yeah. Okay.
Bay. I got bay. I got the right syllable.
Okay.
I'm already seeing this is going to be a high scoring round, which is harder for me to tabulate and has less consequences on the end of the game because everyone just walks away with a lot of similar high number of points. But thank you,
okay with
Dan. Jean, tell us about breakfast.
I chose waffles. I put scrambled eggs, cold cereal, bacon, and toast.
I'm going to ask for very important scorekeeper adjudication here.
Yes.
Scrambled eggs and eggs the same?
Absolutely.
Are cold cereal and cereal the same?
Yep.
I'm proud to announce that Jean has also gotten a meld. Everything you listed, Jean, is something somebody else listed. Good job. Monty, tell us about breakfast.
Well, I like to start with some eggs. I like some bacon. I like some toast. I like some cereal. At this point, I'm pretty full, but I don't know, hash browns.
Yeah, everyone, save room for hash browns, people. Monty, another meld, third meld of the round, and I think that brings us around to Annette. Annette, tell us about breakfast.
Pancakes, eggs, bacon, hash browns. And I like my toast fancy. It's got to be French toast, sometimes known as goblin toast.
Goblin toast, reference acknowledged.
Goblin toast?
Kathy Campbell, is French toast toast?
See, for that, I said no.
I think
it's
I
not.
mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that I agree with you because your rule is final, but
Yeah.
totally.
Look,
All right.
I even agree with you, Kathy, even though I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing that might be hard for me to evaluate. I might need a second pair of eyes. Did anybody get the exact same list as anybody else? I don't think so.
I don't think
so.
so.
Well, it would have to have been one of the people that got a full perfect list.
Yeah. And I'm
their
checking
list.
and no.
Yep. And those lists are unique. So let me do right away. We get some bingo points here. Those are what we call meld points, bonus points, whatever you want to call them. This is a highly polished. This is a highly polished system, and everything is great. The people that got everything on their list matched everybody else or matched somebody else. So Lex, Monty, and Jean each start off with 3 points.
He said my name twice, so I think that's a double 3 points. Kathy.
Lex, Monty, and Jean.
Yeah.
All right. Now we do the more
Lex, I'm just
complicated.
disappointed you chose bacon over bagels. Your heritage is weeping.
I understand.
Kathy, did you already figure out all the breakfast points and put them in?
I think so.
Wow.
I think
Should
so.
I bother double checking? Probably.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Let's double check. Just
I
to
will
make
say
sure.
numbers
is
at
the
the end,
best
and
part
you
of
will
any
tell
board
me
game.
if they
Yes.
line up with the thing at the end.
All right.
Who do I start with? I think I start with Lex, right? Yes. Start with Lex. Lex, you're gonna get 5 points for eggs. You're gonna get 3 points for pancakes. Brings you to 8. You're gonna get 3 points for waffles. That brings you to 11. You're gonna get 4 points for bacon. Brings you to 15, and you'll get 3 points for cereal. No, 4 points for cereal. Brings you to 19 plus your bonus points. Does that check out, Kathy?
Yes.
All right. After Lex is Annette. Annette, 3
Dan.
points for a pancake.
Dan.
Dan. Next after Lex is Dan. Oh, you're right. Annette's way at the end of the round. I read backward. Next after Lex is Dan. Dan, you get 4 points for cereal. You get 3 points for pancakes, so you're at 7. You get 3 points for waffles. You're at 10. You get 5 points for eggs. Everybody put eggs. So you're at 15, and that's it.
Yep.
After Dan is Jean. Jean, you're going to get 3 points for waffles, 5 points for eggs, brings you to 8, 4 for cereal, brings you to 12, and 4 for bacon gets you to 16, and 2 for toast gets you to 18. Great round for Jean, plus your bonus points.
Yes.
Following Jean is Monty. 5 points for eggs. Everybody loves eggs. 4 points for bacon gets you to 9. 2 points for toast gets you to 11. 4 points for cereal gets you to 15. And those 2 points for the hash browns at the end gets you to, I lost track, let's say 17.
17.
Yeah. Math is fun. And last but not least, you pick this round, Annette. You get your 3 points for your pancakes. You get your 5 points for your eggs. That gets you to 8. 4 points for bacon gets you to 12. And 2 points for hash browns gets you to 14.
Woo.
Kathy
Yay.
Campbell, can we get a score update at the end of round 3? halfway through the game. Oh no.
Absolutely. I would just like to state for the record that my addition and mathing was correct in the pre-testing. So that's
So noted.
excellent. Go for me.
2 points to Kathy.
Yay. All right. We now have a tie in first place, and it's not who you expect. Lex and Dan have 53 points. Coming up next is Monty with 52. Annette has 51, and Jean has 49. It's an even closer race.
I realized we said all this and then didn't award any chaos points.
Oh, we did not.
Do you want to award any chaos points, thus changing the numbers that you just announced?
I'm going to give one for Jean for being very specific with her answers.
Okay.
Scrambled eggs and cold
Okay, I
cereal.
thought the rest of us were being vague.
Yeah.
Eggs.
You know what? I'm not giving any points.
Whoa.
You know what you did. All right. Let us move this along with a new set of velocity. Lex.
Yeah.
This is going to be the most important decision you make today in this game. You have a choice of categories: planets or podcasts.
Oh my God. Planets.
Good choice.
Good
Interesting
choice.
choice. There is a strategy, and I think you just did the opposite of it. So you have 1 minute to come up with planets. The timer is already clicking down. It's going to be real interesting to see what you do here. I am not saying anything because I don't want to influence you. I mean, I'm saying things, but I'm really careful about what I'm saying with the intent of not influencing you. I'm definitely not saying anything about things that mean things or matter in any ways. This is really like these words should just wash over you. Like, nope, that
Like
involves a planet.
what?
Not going to say that.
Yeah.
Good banter.
right.
Good banter.
Good job.
I like that Monty's praise and his scorn often sound exactly the
I
same.
know you can't tell what it is.
I'm just trying to help out, man.
Oh, okay, that was actual praise. See, that's my confusion. I thought it was. I totally read it as scorn. 8 seconds. And we got.
And we're all done. Yeah.
We're all done. All right. Lex chose the round, which means we are going to start with Dan. Dan, noted science fiction author. Let's see if any of his planets will appear in his list. Dan, tell me about planets.
I decided to stick with factual planets
Oh,
That we know of.
that
nice.
we know of. I had Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and a good old place we call Earth.
that's not actually the order that you put them in, but I see what
It's
you did
reverse
there.
order. I want it to end on Earth. It was a punch, Tony. Come on, you gotta.
All right, I will tell you, Dan, right off the bat, you get a meld. Every planet that you named was something somebody else named. Good job. Jean, tell us about planets. What are the best planets?
Well, Earth.
Yeah.
I have
Eh.
a fondness for it. Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Saturn.
All right, good. Very, very popular planets. Some top planets. Monty, tell us about planets.
Well, I started with Earth. Then I did Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, which I think is exactly what Dan said.
It's correct.
Mm-hmm. Full meld, we call that. I am
Do
making
we?
a note of that. I did at
We're
least once.
inventing
We
in
do
one of the
now.
games. Yeah.
That was mocking.
Okay. Thanks. All right. That was Monty. Annette, tell us about planets.
I went with some very unique planets called
Mm.
Mars, Earth, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
And Lex, tell us about planets. You
I had to
chose this.
recreate my list once again since I forgot
Yeah.
to save it for the most of the time. But it's the same one as most of
Yep.
everybody else. It is Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and Venus.
Yes. So I believe Lex and Annette, I think you have the exact same list, but in slightly different order. And Monty and Dan have the same list.
Do we not? All
but
four of us have the same
Yeah,
list?
all four of us have the
Yeah.
same list.
All
Yeah,
four of you
But
have
not
the
the
exact
same order.
Yeah.
Not in the same order. You're
Correct.
right. I apologize.
And then
I-
Gene had 4 out of 4 out of our 5. So
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. I
we
just
almost
closed.
nailed that entire
We
round.
almost nailed
Yeah,
that.
that was
You know.
so
Thought about
close.
Jupiter, but
Gene.
When you went to
I was-
Mercury, Gene, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Because
I
it's
will tell you,
close.
this is going to be a very high scoring round for some of you because you're going to get bonus points for getting the exact same list as other people. So Monty, Annette, Lex, and Dan, you get 5 bonus points for a full meld right off the top. And surprise, surprise, because you got a full meld, your scores will be the exact same as each other's. So let me just check here. You get your 5 points for Earth.
30 points.
You get your
That's what I got.
you get 4 points for something, right? What did
Jupiter.
Jupiter. You'll get 4
29.
points for Jupiter, 5 points for Mars, and 5 points for Saturn, and 5 points for Venus. So you get 24 points each of you, Monty, Annette, Lex, and Dan. Plus the 5 gets you to 29. All right, Gene, you're still going to get a lot of points because you got 4 out of 5 matches. So you will get 5 points for Earth, 5 points for Mars, 5 points for Venus, and 4 points for Saturn. Did I do that wrong? 5 points for Saturn.
No,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
and
so
0 for Mercury.
and 0 for Mercury. So you
Yep.
get 20 points, no bonus points, sadly. But yeah, good work on planets. A lot of people got a lot of points, which means the scores really didn't change that much. Do we want to award any chaos points here? Kathy, it feels like since 4 people got the same thing, it would be hard to punish or reward either of them in any direction.
Indeed. And I'm tempted to kind of, give a negative point to like Lex or Monty just for chaos, but I think
just to remind him who's in charge.
yeah, exactly. But I think I'm going
Can
to
I
not.
say that I'm not leading, unlike Lex?
That's true. That's true. But see, if I took one away from Lex, then Dan would win for sure. So I think I'm just going to not give any points to
All right.
anyone.
I suspect that the standing have not changed significantly, but could you just remind us quickly of the point total as we prepared for round 5?
Well, yeah. So Dan and Lex have 82 points, and Monty has 80. Monty has 81. Annette has 80, and Gene has 70. It's still anyone's game.
Yes, literally. I mean, it's a 4 of you were within 2 points of each other at the top there, and Gene. Can
I was
totally come back
close
from that.
until this round.
Yeah.
Right there. One little planet, and boom.
Yep, that's how it
I
goes.
missed mind meld when it was just 4 people, and
For mines.
It's
Which
me.
you
She
hadn't
wishes
had to
were
pick
gone.
five
Which of us would you
things.
cut?
Clearly.
All right, we are now moving with speed, both in scoring things and doing stuff, so that's good. It is time for Dan to pick a round. Dan, cereals or authors?
Can you spell cereals just so I know which one you're referring
Yeah,
to?
Yes, as in cold
Episode
cereal.
1, episode 2.
Commando Cody, that stuff.
I'm going with cereals.
All right, wow.
Bold
Similar
choice.
logic to
I feel
Lex
like-
choosing planets over podcasts.
Well, I think there's an interesting thing here about what I learned from each of you. So you have 50 seconds. Cereals. You got to pick 5 cereals that other people are going to pick. There may be some interesting adjudication here in terms
Indeed.
of the overlaps. You put something in parentheses, and I will come to your house. So,
Or offer only valid for me.
yeah.
I would like I enjoy your notes, Tony, that say fold meld.
I was typing fast.
I know.
That's funny. I was looking at the spreadsheet and I hadn't scrolled, and it was like Earth bar. These are not cereals.
Because I have learned that you can't hide
Mm,
the last, like there has to be
Yeah.
a row or it can mess things
Or
up.
your
so.
lion eyes. Also, I think.
Oh, nice.
10 seconds. I need 5 cereals.
Well, Dan's closest. Oh, you meant. Okay.
I don't think I
Nice.
have 5 cereals in my house.
All right. Let's see. We've got it looks like we got 5 cereals in. Dan, you picked this round. That means we will start with Gene. Gene, tell me about 5 cereals.
I hope these aren't supposed to be cereals in my house.
No.
Captain Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, Rice Krispies, Lucky Charms, and Fruit Loops.
I think all of those are cereals. No one has done anything strange here that means I have to argue about something. Good job, Gene. Good start.
Thank you.
Kathy is still color coding stuff, so I don't know if you
Yep.
got the Meld yet or not. but
Yeah, I
we'll
want to say
figure it
that
out.
this is a much lower scoring one, which makes it
Yeah.
So much more difficult to count. So
That's okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
We've now said that both high
You're
scoring and
welcome.
low scoring rounds
Yep,
are
we
difficult to score.
You know what? Secret to Mind Meld is the scoring is difficult.
Yes.
It's like you
No.
took the hardest part of friendly competition.
Yeah.
You were like, let's score that.
Yep. Monty, tell us about cereals.
Okay. Well, I started with Fruity Pebbles,
Mm-hmm.
presumably because I enjoyed Barney's raps in those commercials a long time ago. Then Raisin Bran, Trix, specifically Boo Berry, a little,
Reference to college.
and Fruit Loops.
All right. You think I'd hold the order of you players in my head, but I still don't have it yet. And that, tell us about cereals.
Fruit Loops, Cheerios, Shreddies, Cornflakes, Lucky Charms.
I don't want this comment to influence you in terms of thinking about what your score will be, but explain Shreddies.
I was like, I did have the thought, some of these might be Canadian and nobody knows
Yep.
what they are. They're
Yep.
like
Shreddies,
little
shredded
squares of woven wheat. They're
Yeah,
not like
shredded
shredded
wheat.
wheat.
Shredded
Mm.
wheat.
You're pre-shredded.
No, it's not. It's not
unshredded.
shredded wheat. They're
Why
harder
not?
and crunchier than that.
Okay.
So they have a very different texture.
Oh,
But they're
Don't-
very common
don't
here.
Say that.
okay.
they look like
They're less because shredded wheat is
Like-
they
flakier
look
than
like checks.
Like mini shredded
no, they're
wheats.
they're flatter
The-
than Chex,
Mhm.
what spoon-sized shredded wheats. That's what
Mm.
it sounds like. to
but
me.
they're
look
they're flatter
closer.
than spoon-sized
But they
shredded
look
wheats.
like checks.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you no one else said Shreddies. Lex, tell us about cereals.
What?
I know you're shocked.
I have Canadios, Toronto
Oh.
Chunks. Sorry, that was my Canadian cereals list. I matched none of Gene's, which I'm still reeling from. I have Cheerios, Apple Jacks, Frosted Flakes. I wanted to put Frosted Flakes / Corn Flakes, but then Tony said if anybody put a parentheses in, he would come to their house. So I
I'll
didn't.
point out a parentheses and a slash are different, but you know, you were skating on thin ice there either anyway. Just
And then
for
I
thinking about
rounded
it.
out with Wheaties and Trix.
Okay. And I think that leaves us with Dan. Dan, you chose this round. Defend
Good.
yourself.
I had with mostly stuff I ate growing Rice Krispies, Cheerios, Lucky Charms, which we were not allowed to have, cornflakes, and then I threw in the curveball there with checks at the end, thinking it might come up, but I guess not.
All right. Well, it looks like cereals is a complicated category. Some of you were able to overlap a bunch, but there were no melds here. Nobody got a list that contained an item on everybody else's list, unfortunately. So this could be where everything starts to fall apart. Let me attempt to do scoring here. Let's start with Gene. Gene, you're going to get 2 points for Rice Krispies. You're going to get 3 points for Lucky Charms. That gets you to 5. And you're going to get 3 points for Fruit Loops. That's going to get you to 8. Does that line up,
Yep.
Kathy? 8
Yep.
points for Gene. All right. We go from Gene to Monty. Monty, you get 2 points for Trix, and you get 3 points for Fruit Loops, 5 points. Checks out, Kathy?
Yep.
All right. We go from Monty to Annette. Annette, you get 3 points for Fruit Loops. 3 points for Cheerios gets you to 6. 2 points for Cornflakes gets you to 8. And 3 points for Lucky Charms gets you to 11. Good round for Annette, even though you mentioned Shreddies, which many people
Yes.
not only didn't pick, but didn't totally believe was a real thing.
Tony, doing this score update, Tony, can I point out that I Googled Shreddies and the first result is for the original flatulence filtering underwear, which also goes by
Oh.
Shreddies. So I'd like to make sure everybody knows
Wow.
that too.
All right, is this a paid sponsor? What's happening here?
Use promo code MindMeld for no reason whatsoever.
Okay. Lex, you're up next. You pick Cheerios, which gets you 3 points, and you pick Trix, which gets you 5 points. That gets you 5 points. That's how it works.
Yep.
And
3 and 2.
Dan,
Yeah.
you chose this. This is all your fault. You get 2 points for Rice Krispies, 3 points for Cheerios, 5, 3 points for Lucky Charms, 8, and 2 points for Cornflakes is 10.
Yes.
10.
Pretty
All
fun.
right. What we had a smattering of weird choices here, Kathy. Who do we wish to reward or punish?
I gotta reward Monty for specifically Boo Berry, just
Yep.
because I was hoping that somebody would pick that.
You know what? I'm looking at these and I'm thinking about favorite cereals. I had a complicated relationship with cereals. Let's start a new podcast here where I discuss this.
What will you call it? Cereal?
But the URL will be cereal, but spelled like the breakfast food. It's a very long URL.
.com.
Yeah. You know what? I don't actually really like Captain Crunch. I feel like it cuts your mouth, which is not something I'm looking for in a cereal. But I always thought it was a great name for a cereal, and so I'm gonna give 1 point to Gene. So,
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, no bonus points for Melds that round. Can you give us a quick update, Kathy? Did this affect the scores? What's going on?
It did kind of affect the scores in that all of them have increased as they do with each round.
Seamless.
That is what I'm looking for in a scorekeeper.
So still in first place is Dan with 92 points. Annette is close behind with 91. Monty and Lex have melded with 87 points. And Jean is catching up. She's got 79.
Okay. Jean, it is time for you to pick the last regular round topic before we go into the final lightning round of this episode of Mind Meld. Your choices are either starship captains or emoji.
I'm gonna pick emoji. Starship captains is too fraught.
All right. I've started the timer. It's counting down 55 seconds. Emoji. I think these are you don't necessarily have to answer in the form of an emoji, but it may make it harder to parse if you don't. I don't know.
I totally didn't.
Like,
I totally did words. I didn't even think about the idea that I could use
the
emojis.
description, smiley
I
face.
can't do emoji that fast. What are you talking about?
Just
It doesn't
don't do
just
any
pop up.
Yeah, don't do
I'm on
anything
a
that
computer. I don't have an emoji
Yeah,
keyboard.
you have
That's
the
not
keyboard
feasible.
typing though. I think it's
okay.
what is it? I don't even know what it is.
I'd have to search for it and then copy it in.
Don't worry about it. Just
It's fine.
But if you do something that Kathy has to judge, she'll be mad at you.
No pressure.
I don't know. We're spending a lot of time arguing about this. Lex put in his answer minutes ago.
Yeah.
I would have done that, but I had to stop and argue.
Yep. Monty, your answers are also all fine.
Yep.
Surprisingly hard to do with emoji.
And Annette's are in.
You guys know there's an emoji for Love Hotel?
Yes.
Yes.
But
No.
Dan, we need some emoji
Oh
from
yeah,
you.
I'm pasting like mad.
Okay.
Okay, bad Dan,
Dan,
the only one that did it, and now
Dan
it's
gave us
hard.
actual.
Oh well,
you know what?
Never
You know
No,
what?
it's fine. It's fine.
All right.
Well,
I'll go back and
Take
rewrite
points
them.
away from him. Take
No.
points away from him.
I was gonna put the names in parentheses, but that had been discouraged.
Yeah. All right, we are gonna start with
If we want Tony to come
Monty.
to our house.
Monty, what were your top 5 emoji that you got for us here?
Oh, I started with a classic, the smiley face.
Yeah,
The first emoji, some would say. An emoticon before it was an emoji.
Yeah.
Then I went the other way, a frowny face. Then a
Ooh.
thumbs up and poop and LOL.
Okay. Not actually sure if LOL is an emoji, but
Yeah,
whatever.
There's
What?
colon,
What?
LOL, colon, and an emoji pops up. So I think it is an emoji, Tony.
Okay. Well, take it up with Kathy, and she's mad at you.
Also,
Oh.
poop counts as a Starship Captain, too. So I should get points for the
Okay.
alternate reality where she picked Starship Captain. Because
We'll take that under
Patrick
consideration.
Stewart voiced
Okay,
the poop
I
emoji in the
would like-
emoji movie.
He did.
According to the emojis in Zoom,
Mhm.
LOL is not one. And if you search for emoji with LOL, you get a lollipop. So
I think we need to consult emoji.
I'm looking at
Emoji
Emojipedia,
PD.
and
is,
there is.
I
Well,
caused
okay.
trouble.
Do you need me
Yeah.
to call Jeremy Burge?
yes,
I know he's
Jeremy.
retired, but
We are
but
tricky
he's-
here. There is now. Here's this is where the Supreme Court gets involved. There does not seem to be a LOL emoji, but there's one that's laughing with tears coming out on its
Yeah.
side that is
That's
rolling,
on the floor.
and laughing.
Yes.
So I think Monty, and I think Monty will respect this. I think he is technically wrong, which is
but it doesn't matter. That's the
It
point.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
because no one else said it.
No,
So
it's-
why
yeah.
did we even have this discussion?
I don't because I needed to figure out what he meant, and I
Okay.
was giving him, a chance and an opportunity.
That was
to
an opening,
show
and he
me
used it.
what that emoji was, and he failed. So
Mm.
clearly, no points for that.
All right, Annette, 5 emojis.
Poop emoji,
Mm-hmm.
the winky emoji, the sobbing emoji, smiley face, and heart eyes.
Okay.
Hold
Lex.
That's me.
Yeah, Lex, 5 emojis.
I have the poop emoji, smiling, cry laughing, eggplant, and wave.
Wave. Could you explain wave? I
Yeah.
mean, I know that's an emoji. I'm just, what is that one that comes up? Oh, that wave.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It took me a
Yeah,
second
land.
too. Not
Because
Not
there was
tidal,
also
green.
like an ocean
Ocean.
wave
Yeah.
one. And I was like, what's going, are you like into surfing?
Honestly, it doesn't matter because nobody had
No,
else
nobody
had
else put it.
either. So
Yep.
it's
I meant both.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And following Lex is Dan.
I revised and went for actual emoji for
Mhm.
precision. I had the poop emoji because figured that
Mm-hmm.
was going up there. I had the heart emoji, which I'm surprised nobody else went for. Smiley, rolling on the floor, laughing, and sobbing.
Okay. And last, but not least, this is all your fault, Gene. Gene, can you tell us 5 emoji?
Yes, I picked birthday cake emoji, which I use a lot. The ta-da emoji, which nobody picked, so I don't have to explain what it is, but it's that little celebration emoji.
Yeah, the little confetti cone.
Yes. The wink, eggplant, because I
Obviously.
just was in, which I never used, but I figured you guys did, so I was wrong.
What are you
and the
implying?
She thinks we're pervs.
And the heart, which somebody did pick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
All right. Let us proceed to scoring. I'm trying to think. Kathy did. I'm a little confused by Dan's entry. Is it possible that
Yeah.
Dan
so
got
the
a meld?
Yeah,
I
I think
don't-
I think I got all of mine were picked by someone else.
okay. However, so that with the open mouth isn't the actual smiley. The smiley is just with the line, like the frowny.
It's 100% accurate,
Is-
Kathy.
That is
I'm
the
with you.
first one on the smiley list.
I don't listen. And
Oh,
then
Dan gave us the grinning face emoji.
Yes.
Oh, it was meant to be the smiley face, but
Mm.
that is
Oh,
me. I
yeah.
thought it was a smiley
Mhm.
face. I
Wave
described
was
it as a
meant to be
smiley
frown.
when I said it. So
I know, but then the crying laughing one is the rolling on the floor because
Oh, yeah, that's not
tilted,
crying laughing.
not straight and up. Like
Yeah.
so I think this is accurate scorekeeping. I
Okay.
will consult with Jeremy Burge after this call.
Yeah, that's his power maintains.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Lex has texted me something, which is really great to do while you're running a game show.
I registered for you, cereal, but it's spelled like the cereal.com, which redirects to my Meld page on the economy.
I'm here for this. I will
That's
listen to
amazing.
you
All
talk
right,
about
you know
cereal.
what? If you're gonna haze me in the middle of a game show like that, I'll allow it because also I can do nothing to stop you.
weirdly, not the first time Tony has had a domain name registered
No.
for him well on a podcast.
No,
Yeah.
it's it's honestly one of the milder forms of hazing I receive here.
I know,
so
but
I'm
'cause
not going to argue with that.
previously we made him sign up for an organ donor and then he had to have an organ removed. So
It was a slippery slope from there to domain
When
registration.
it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, I'm more of an orc donor. I just want to put that.
That
not
was
a
pretty
class.
good for someone who almost knows what those words mean.
So you donate pest control?
That's right.
Mm.
For Mork.
Nice.
Get it.
All
I
right.
get it.
Okay, let us do the scores on this. The last time we have to do scores before we go to the final lightning round where it all comes together.
Or falls apart. We'll
or
see.
falls apart. I keep losing track of what I'm doing.
Chaos.
We
It's
start
Monty.
with Monty.
You got to do
Monty.
chaos. Oh, you got to add first. I'm sorry. You're
Yeah,
right.
Monty. You
Listen,
get
listen. Lex, whose game is this?
It is your game. And
Yes,
happy
thank
birthday
you.
to both of you.
Thank you. I'll take it. Monty gets 3 points for smiley face and 4 points for poop, gets you to 7. Great. Now there's a recording of me saying that.
It doesn't matter anymore. We can make entire
Yeah,
fake
that's true.
voices, so it's irrelevant.
That's 4 points for poop, 2 points for wink, gets you to 6. 2 points for sobbing, gets you to 8. And 3 points for smiling gets you to 11. Lex, 4 points for poop, 3 points for smiling gets you to 7. 2 points for eggplant gets you to 9. Dan, 4 for poop, 2 for heart, gets you to 6. 2 for sobbing gets you to 8. And Gene, this was all your fault. 2 points for wink, 2 points for eggplant gets you to 4. 2 points for heart gets you to 6. There's got to be some rewards and punishment here, right, Kathy?
Yeah, absolutely. Dan gets a minus point
Love
for
it. Finally.
Misrepresentation.
Yes, exactly. And trying to argue with the thing that the emoji isn't what I'm clearly seeing on my screen.
Yeah.
That it wasn't the correct
For
emoji,
jeopardizing
so
the good name of Emojipedia. Minus
Yeah.
1 point to this game and all future games that Dan plays in, regardless of format.
Dan, I'm really disappointed that you would argue with the scorekeeper on her decision.
Yeah.
Oh, and while we're at it, we need to decide who gets 1 bonus point or another negative point. I don't feel strongly.
you know what?
It's sitting
I'm
right
tempted.
there.
Do we need to
Birthday
give
cake
Dan
emoji.
2? I know.
No, we're not giving Dan 2
Okay,
negative
fine.
points.
We'll give
All right.
Gene a +1 for doing
Putting the birthday cake.
and
Yep,
the ta-da.
I see how it works.
Yes,
No.
I take bribes. Lex
Yep.
knows,
Yep. Well, at the end crowd, what are they going to do about it? They
I
can't
know.
really stop you.
right?
Mhm.
I don't think our bribery, one way or another, has affected the standing of the scores. But I believe that there has been some change ups in what's going on. Score update, Kathy Campbell.
Oh, yes, there has. In first place, an upset. Annette has 102 points. Coming up in second is Dan with 99. Lex has 96. Monty has 94. And Gene has 86.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, we have the final round, which is the lightning round. The lightning round is a little bit different in that for the lightning round, validity matters. We will be choosing a category for which there is a canonical set of right and wrong answers. And if you get something wrong, that you're out. This is also the lightning round because we will move very quickly from person to person. You're not using the web form. You're not putting these in writings. You're just responding verbally when I call on you to identify something in that category. If you cannot come up with something quickly enough, or if you list something that has already been listed, you are out. You get the most points if you are the last person standing. You get the least points if you're the first one out, etc. I think that this is probably going to determine whether a Dan or Annette is going to win, but other things could potentially happen too.
How many points do we get?
You're welcome, Dan.
You get 5 points for being last person standing. You get 1 point for being first person out, and 4, 3, 2 in between. All right. After careful consideration with myself, the final category is going to be elements from the periodic table, not fantasy elements. So we will proceed in the order of play. It will be Monty, Annette, Lex, Dan, and Gene. Kathy is going to attempt to keep track of what things have been said so that we can keep track of
Procedural
duplicates.
question, Tony.
I will attempt to keep track of whether your answers are accurate. Dan, you asked a procedural question the last time you played this game too.
Did I? Okay, great.
Yep.
Is it the same one?
I don't know yet. You haven't asked it.
Well, you should be able to guess. It's mind meld. Can we keep track of what was said?
You can try.
Okay.
We're gonna move fast.
Yep, that's fine.
Monty, name an element.
Hydrogen.
Annette, name an element.
Iron.
Lex, name an element.
Antimony.
Dan, name an element.
Helium.
Gene, name an element.
Lithium.
Monty,
Neon.
Annette,
Copper.
Lex,
Arsenic.
Dan,
Lead.
Gene,
Mercury.
Monty,
Californium.
Annette,
Gold.
Lex,
Aluminum.
Dan,
Xenon.
Gene,
Silver.
Monty,
What was that?
Silver.
She
So-
said silver.
Oh,
I'm
it's
saying
silver.
tin.
Thank you. Annette.
I am gonna not.
Annette
Sorry.
is out. Annette gets
I'm
1
out.
point.
I had G
Lex.
stole mine.
All right. No, this is super high pressure now. Lex,
Selenium.
Dan,
Radon.
Gene,
Argon.
Monty,
Radium.
Lex,
Nickel.
Dan,
Einsteinium.
Gene,
Curium.
Monty.
Ooh, I was gonna say curium. I'm out.
Monty's out. Lex.
Neodymium.
Ooh.
Okay. Dan.
Molybdenium.
That is one. Yes. I think Gene is out, right? So
No.
no, Gene's not out. Monty was out. Gene's
Gene's
in.
not out.
Gene's in.
Beryllium.
Lex.
Neptunium.
Is that a real one?
Yes, I'm taking
Okay.
them from
It
Tom
is.
Lehrer's song in order.
All right, Dan.
Oh, nice.
I don't know
that.
what that song is. I wish I knew it.
Dan.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Gonna be hard to beat.
fudge. I got nothing.
Fudge is not an element.
Not yet. Gene.
Sodium.
Lex.
Germanium.
Gene.
Fluorine.
Lex.
Zirconium.
Gene.
Carbon.
Lex.
Lutetium.
I'm never gonna beat him,
Gene.
and I'm not getting any more points for this, so I give up.
Okay. Lex, final one.
Vanadium.
All right.
Ah,
Lex, you get
Wow.
5 points.
Woohoo!
Very
There
well
are
Thank
so
you,
done.
Tom
many
Lehrer.
elements that immediately flooded into my head, like freaking oxygen.
I mean, I think
Nitrogen. There's some of that
I mean, I
around.
thought the
Yeah.
hard
It's
point,
like carbon.
The hard point was going to be
Yeah,
not
when
naming
Gene
something
said carbon,
somebody else.
I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot that I just
Guys,
went out of
they-
my head there.
They have numbers. I mean, I think the key thing here was going to be how many.
Who knew the song?
The song was really
well,
key.
Right.
The song is key. I thought it was going to be, could you
don't
keep track
know
of
the
what had
song.
already been said?
Yeah.
Can we get just a little bit, just enough of the song that we won't get sued, Lex?
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen. It's that.
There you
go. Weird Al Yankovic says that he cast Daniel Radcliffe as Al Yankovic in the movie Weird because he saw Daniel Radcliffe sing the Elements song on a late night talk show.
All right.
Wow.
So just to
So I
recap,
learned it so that I could get cast in the next Weird Al.
You're playing the older Weird Al? Is
Yeah,
that what's
but
happening?
but not quite, not as
Weird
old
Al.
as Weird Al.
Weird Al.
It's kind of-
Middle-aged Weird Al. There you go.
Lex
Yeah.
Friedman in Weirder.
Yeah. All right. Allow me to recap what just happened. Lex, a commanding performance in listing elements. He gets 5 points. Gene, runner up with 4 points. Dan in the middle with 3. Monty behind that with 2. And Annette was first out with 1. But how has that affected our final scores? They are very close. Kathy Campbell, final scores and winner announcement. Do you want to start at the bottom?
Absolutely. Yep, I know how to read numbers. Coming up in 5th place is Gene with 90 points. Next
Woohoo.
is Monty with 96. 3rd place goes to Lex with 101. Dan has 102, which means Annette with 103
And
is
Wow.
the winner.
One.
wow. Congratulations, Annette. You are our first returning winner who has won yet again. Dan is never allowed to play Mind Meld again. Other people are welcome to return. That's how it works here at Mind Meld. The rules are capricious and ever changing. Thank you for watching us play Mind Meld or listening if you're listening to a podcast, which is the main way that you consume this media that you have in your ears. If you have thoughts or feedback, please feel free to share them with me via the Incomparable member Slack or other places. This is a game that is evolving. We've only played it officially 3 times. All that's left to do is thank our players. Monty Ashley, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Tony. I had fun.
Lex Friedman, thank you for joining us.
Learn more at cereal, but it's spelled like the cereal.com.
You will not learn more. You'll learn the exact same amount. Dan Morin, thank you for being here.
It was a
Eating
pleasure.
Okay. Gene McDonald, thank you for joining us.
It was super fun and an honor to come in last with this esteemed crowd.
And Annette Wierstra, congratulations on winning. Kathy Campbell, thank you for scorekeeping. Tune in next time for more fun with the Incomparable Game Show people.
And
Goodbye.
hey, Tony, if somebody wanted to throw money at you directly, where would they go for
That's
this
true.
and many other amazing things?
Cereal, but spelled like the cereal.
If you felt like financially supporting Tony, the person who created this game and is unemployed, you can go to givetonymoney.fun, an actual URL set up by Micah Sargent.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Thank you for watching. I think we are going to go.
Don't turn off the
Okay,
stream.
wait,
No,
wait,
don't turn off the
wait,
stream.
wait,
Kathy's
wait.
got to open the
Turn off the
thing.
I
stream.
got a present.
Wait.
We also need Annette to record something that she says
say
after
goodbye.
you say thank you, Annette.
Sorry, I got booted.
Oh,
Perfect.
Annette,
No.
we said goodbye to you and you weren't there. What would you say if we had just said goodbye, Annette? Congratulations on winning.
I would say, yeah.
All right, now say that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who edits
Please
the
leave
show?
that in. Steven, probably.
You're welcome, Steven.
Oh man, Steven's gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah.
He doesn't like me anymore, I assume. So, hi, Steven.
It's fine.
He still
I've
likes
given him
me,
harder
Not
jobs
I
than this.
think.
Yeah. Okay, we are officially done with the game show part. So I'm gonna stop my call recording here. But we are still live on YouTube for the purposes of giving Kathy Campbell a present for her birthday.
It's going in the bootleg.
It'll go in the bootleg. That's fine.
Excellent.
It doesn't need to be in the
Excellent.
file that Steven gets.
No.
We've made his life complicated enough.
All right. Can I open it? Am I good to
Yes,
open it?
go for it.
I'll bring you over so I can see.
It's cereal, but it's spelled.
Seriously, Tony, I would like to go on that show with you. Do it.
I could also redirect that to
Oh my
givetonymoney.com.
Yeah, whatever.
This is amazing.
For anyone,
Turned
well,
out.
I guess
Oh my
everyone else.
This is a coffee mug that has the Mind Meld logo on one side and says official scorekeeper on the other. I love it. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's perfect for holding mimosas.
Yes. I
That's
should
what
drink
it's
mimosas
designed
every
for,
time.
huh?
Wait, I should wash it first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do that.
I don't want to waste it. Thank
It
you.
was pretty hysterical though when I got this rejection letter and they said this is against our guidelines, and I had to think, like, what guidelines?
What guideline?
I think
I
it was
talked
Guidelines
about
are
it.
garbage.
They thought it was
Tony
like
is-
they thought
Yeah,
it was a intellectual property
like-
theft.
Yeah.
Important intellectual property that must be protected from us scammers. And I wrote back and I just said, like, I think you're mistaken. I didn't expect them to agree, but they did. That went fast. So Zazzle,
They're like,
I
oh, it's
give
just
you-
a podcast. Never mind.
right? Well, I did say, I said, oh, we do that, we kind of try to make it sound like, oh yes, this is totally cool with our
Totally
company,
official.
the Incomparable, of whom I am a very important member. And
Yes.
I sent them a link to my podcast so they could see that.
And now they
I'm
listen
not
to
just-
that podcast, so it's
Yeah.
big fans. now.
Anyway,
Hi,
I
Zazzle.
was. Yes. So good.
Now
for
they're
them. But I
members,
thought-
I'm sure.
I'm just impressed, Kathy, that you were able to do this and celebrate and do math on your
Yeah.
birthday with mimosas and everything. So good
I
for
know.
you.
Go me. And I didn't make any mistakes with the math. So
That we know of. So.
Yeah.
Come on,
Till the listeners tell you.
It's fine.
Accurate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
1
just
point
tell
difference.
me not today because it's my
Mhm.
birthday. So don't tell me.
Yeah.
Got it.
Anyway.
Timestamp this email for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Kathy. You did it one more year. Try and do a bunch more.
I will do my best. No guarantees, but I'll try.
All right. I'm going to take us
Thank you,
offline from
everyone.
YouTube unless there's any official YouTube business we need to do now. Nope. All right.
Nope.